Tomorrow, the Royal Challengers will be pleased to be back at Bengaluru, looking to bounce back from that 49 all-out yesterday against KKR. This is a repeat of last year's final. They take on the Sunrisers, 3 p.m. on SkySports 2. And right now, it's day 4 Test cricket between the West Indies and Pakistan. West Indies 286 all-out, Pakistan responding. They have a lead, 333 for 6. That is now on Sky Sports 4. But a really good win for the Super Giant. The lads have been watching it with me, and Ben Stokes, only the difference.
Yeah, but a quality 19th over, executed his bowled one unbelievable Yorker, but that over basically helped him get the game. And I thought it was good captaincy from Steve Smith. Straight after the strategic timeout, we said, what do we need to do? Yeah, he went Tahir, went Stokes, and they got it done and managed to get over the line. Very good.
Yeah, we built it at the start, Rob. Again, the Butler versus Stokes. No doubt today that it was Stokes' turn to come out on top.
Yeah, he had an unbelievable start with the ball. And remember, this is generally one of the harder places to bowl seam up. Bowlers go there and just get smashed all around the park. And he was brilliant. And when you get what you think is an under par total, you need your bowlers to do something. This is the 19th over where he just got it absolutely on the money. It's always the most important over in a close run chase like this. That is as good a Yorker as you'll see. There is nothing you can do to that ball, and that's what set it up really, because the last over there was a bit of length bowled, and this was the difference really, was Ben Stokes.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, when we think back to that World T20 final when he got brath-weighted, an experience like that, do the good players, the real stars, kind of bounce back from that and show what they're made of? And is Ben Stokes kind of using that as fuel to produce performances like this?
Yeah, I think he's using the IPL for England to get better at the end. The good thing about Ben Stokes and what you actually want from your bowlers is you've got to want the ball in your hand to bowl those last few overs. I'm sure he thinks often about that World Cup final, but he's using this now to get it right, and it's for inspiration to never happen again. So whenever he gets the opportunity, like tonight, to bowl that 19th over there, to get the job done will make him feel better, and will make him actually do better every single time he plays.
Well, the 19th over was very good. The 20th over wasn't bad either. I mean, he's had a decent game in the field generally, and he kicked things off well here.
Yeah, the interesting, Paul Farbrae said they let him go wherever he wants in the field. He doesn't go where the captain tells him. He just goes where he thinks the ball's going to get. That was an outstanding catch. But this is why you need Stokes to bowl the penultimate over, because generally, I mean, he just sort of bowled length. That was pretty good thinking. I reckon it was a wide in the end, and as you say, there wasn't a great Yorker going in or anything, but the pressure had already been done. That was nearly missed. But it was good enough because of what Stokes had done before.
Yeah, and this was the run out here as the ball came in. Steve Smith is already giving it out. And Bargy hit the last ball for 6, but it was done and dusted. So, yeah, really good performance all round. And that's what Stokes brings, Shane, with the bat, with the ball. And if he can't contribute with those two strings to the bow, he'll make something happen in the field.
Yeah, I think the one thing, when I look at Ben Stokes as a cricketer, besides the obvious things, the bat and the ball and everything he brings to the field, I like his energy. And I think he's one of those guys you want in your side. I think his enthusiasm rubs off on the rest of his teammates, and I think he'd actually make a wonderful captain down the track too. It looks like he thinks about the game. So yeah, I like him in my side. I think all the rest of the Pune guys will enjoy his company. He's probably the go-to guy about most of the stuff. So yeah, I think what he brings to the table is excellent.
Okay, could be a contender for man of the match. Presentation's ready. Here's Simon Dahl. Building performance. This is what it's done to the table. Mumbai Indians stay top. Their 2 losses both against the Super Giant, who have moved into the qualifying positions. They've just snuck into 4th. A few teams there with a bit of work to do, particularly the Royal Challengers. But good stuff from Stokes. We've talked about his bowling. We've talked about his fielding. How about his batting? Rob, where would you have him batting if you were skipper?
Well, I've always liked Ben Stokes as an opener, really. I think he's that type of player. He plays good cricket shots. When you watch him playing Test cricket, he scores at a good rate. When he scored those runs against South Africa, actually, everyone said, oh, he's like Gilchrist, the way that he's playing. Well, Gilchrist was a very good opener, and I think he could be similar. So I would, in T20, it's not easy with England because you've got Hales, Roy, all these people ahead of him. But actually, I think there was an opportunity here to get him up the top. I think actually he would be very, very destructive. I think that's his best position.
Yeah, Shane, he's a good player at pace.
Yep.
And you paid 1.7 million for him. You want to get value for money. Get him in early, what do you think?
Yeah, I like him in the top 3, somewhere there, depending on who else I've got available as openers. I think in the top 3 would be one of those spaces. You want your best players facing as many deliveries as you possibly can. So, you know, Stokes, forget the money, even though, yeah, he's one of those expectations because we paid him a lot. I just think in the top three, get him to face, you know, if you can get him to face 50 balls, 45, 50 balls, he's going to make a few.
Yeah, and English players, if any perceived weakness, people think, well, against the spinners, if you get him in early, all right, some people open with spin, but the ball probably sliding on a bit more up top.
Yeah, and also he'll be set when the spinners do come on after that if he can stay in. So, yeah, I think it's a good spot for him up there top.
OK, how well did Rohit Sharma play?
Yeah, he's easy on the eye when he gets going. He's not been in great form, but again, I quite like him as an opener, and he's put himself down at number 4 in this tournament. He plays spin pretty well. He's just got such a lovely, one of those players who's got such a lovely flow with a good pick-up, and it just goes through the line of the ball. He doesn't ever look to over-hit it. He seems to hit the middle of the bat and it just races away. I think he's a fine player who's probably underperformed in this tournament so far this year. I mean, shots like that, you don't see much better than that.
Yeah, we saw a little ramp shot there, which you don't often associate with top Indian players. They're actually quite conventional in the way they go about things, but he's got that in his locker too. Yeah,
he has. I think he's got a lot in his locker. It's just a shame we don't see it more consistently from Rohit Sharma. We know he's got the talent. Maybe he's a bit sleepy Lukey, where occasionally he just sort of nods off and has a little bit of lack of concentration. But most of the time, if he switches on and he's beautiful to watch.
Yeah, and
there was never. He just made up.
He does make up words. He makes a shame more he can make up words.
He is, though, isn't he? You feel like you just want to give him a bit of a...
I don't know what that is.
I'm sure you've had a player that occasionally say, are you concentrating? Wake up.
Yeah, but I don't call him Sleepy Luke.
Yeah,
that's my point. We're just sleepy people. I just don't call him Sleepy Luke,
mate. When you two have finished having your tea, Sharma looked pretty upset about the wide in that final over, and he went up to the umpire, he was kind of pushing his finger, and he didn't look happy. I mean, there's plenty of passion in there for a Sleepy Lukey bloke.
Yeah, there is. I think normally that line is a guide. It's not a be-all and end-all, but it's a guide to it's a wide. And the definition of it is if in your normal batting position you can't reach it. Now, that he moved over, so the umpire sort of got the bowler, gave him a bit more leeway, but I think if you look at the replay, because we live thought, oh, maybe that's a good decision, but if you look at the replay, Rohit Sharma had every reason to complain because it was probably a wide.
Mumbai Indians, they won't lose too much sleep over this defeat. Rob, I would imagine they're still top of the tree, even though they've lost 2 games now to the Super Giants.
Yeah, and they've still got a good formula. That's the problem with T20. It's so hard, isn't it? Because anyone can beat anyone. If you'd have told me that the Super Giant were in this position, I thought they were one of the worst teams in it a week ago. We're sitting there talking about how they're going to win a game. They've got no bowling. They've got no batting, really. Rahani's not a great touch. Now they're a good chance of qualifying.
Yeah.
Just quickly on that and who you think, because you tip in RCB.
I tipped RCB.
We all tipped RCB.
Yeah,
they got big guns. They got bowled out for 49 yesterday. They're playing tomorrow against the Sunrisers, repeat of last year's final. How do you bounce back from being bowled out for 49? They are at the Chinnaswamy, which I guess helps. Yeah,
I think they'll enjoy being back at home. I look at that batting line-up, and yes, your bowler's going to win you the 2020 match. We saw Stokes stay in the 19th over, so they've got firepower in the batting, but I still think they had a good enough side before the tournament that they'll actually be right up there. So I was very surprised about yesterday. They'll be hurting. The way they bounce back, I expect some fireworks from others. I think the team chat will be, let's just go for it. We can't do any worse.
Tell you what, they have to be careful, because now it looks like these pitches, we've got a lot of used pitches. We saw that today. You never think 160 is enough. The same yesterday. So teams are going to have to be smart, because when the pitches get old and tired, it requires some smart cricket, really, and you've got to adapt pretty quickly. Normally it's flat belters, you just hit through the line. That's not been the case.
OK, lads, thank you very much. Enjoyed your contribution. Really good game today. Plenty more IPL coming up for you. And we start with that game we were just talking about. The Royal Challengers looking to bounce back after that humiliation at the hands of KKR. They take on the Sunrisers. Jimmy Anderson will be in the studio and will be reacting also to the England's Champions Trophy squad. 3 p.m. on Sky Sports 2 for that one. On Wednesday, the Super Giant back in action looking to build on today's victory. They play the Knight Riders, 3 p.m. on Sky Sports 3. And then on Thursday, once again, the Royal Challengers. These games coming thick and fast for Virat Kohli's men. They're at the Chinnaswamy in Bengaluru once more. And they have got the Gujarat Lions. And there's a big game of football tonight. Newcastle can get promoted. A win will see them back in the Premier League. They take on Preston at St James's Park. 7:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 1. The Super Giants have done a double over the Mumbai Indians. Thanks for watching.
Enjoy Sky Sports Live. On all screens, on the go, and the best bits.